Cartagena. This is the place. This is the fun. This is the wild. This really shows who Colombians are. So hey guys, this is part 2 of our Colombian adventure, and really this is the day that Carlos and Daniel and Antonio really showed their true colors. No, it was awesome to just be with those guys and being able to explore the city itself. You know, Megan and I really didn't get to see the full scope of Cartagena at night. I may have put the drone up in the air, but man, when the sun hits it just right in the morning, it's incredible. Typically on vacations, what we do is we find our spot, we get our breakfast, we wake up the next morning and just go. Like, we just be tourists and we enjoy the city itself. There was so much greenery, so many flowers, so many beautiful streets. We had to stop every 5 minutes, it seemed like. And of course, my wife, if anyone knows my wife, she found a library. It's really interesting to see the history of this place and being able to see all the statues and just trying to compare it to the States itself. I mean, they've got a rich history of just wars and generals and captains, and all the sculptures around the city. It's incredible to see. The people there were just so gracious and welcoming. Every time I went to a little coffee shop to grab something, or I went to, you know, a store or asked directions to something, we would never had an issue trying to understand what was going on. Typically, we'd always use like Waze or apps or Apple Maps and things like that. But we've been to some places where it was hard to try to navigate because it was hard to either speak the language or whatever. Luckily, I took about 8 years of Spanish back in high school and college, and I don't know how much it actually helped long term, but somehow it just came back to me. Out of our whole group, I was probably the only one that could speak any lick of Spanish at all. Not to say it is good, just enough for me to get by, honestly. Once we got to about 1:30, 2 o'clock, we were actually asked to go back to the hotel. We met up with Carlos and Antonio. They ended up taking us to this other place, which is a massive hotel, and apparently some of Carlos's family owned parts of this hotel, and it took us up to their penthouse, showed us the pool and the crazy views that were up there. This thing kind of overlooks the city in general. So to remind you, we had no idea what was planned for this trip. We had zero clue what was going on. We were kind of going by the whim, kind of going minute by minute, if you could say. But this day we were actually told that we needed swimsuits, and we had no clue. We heard there was some kind of boat involved, but we really didn't understand. So as we're standing in the lobby waiting for the next thing to happen, we really didn't know what was going on. We were kind of twiddling our thumbs. We look out into the harbor, and we start seeing this boat come closer to the dock that we were there. And I was like, it's probably just a random boat. It's not really theirs or ours or whatever. It was about a 60 or 50 foot yacht itself, and I just didn't think that was something we were going to be on. And then come to find out, that's the thing we're getting on. Carlos's plan was for all of us to get on this yacht, enjoy our time, and go explore some of the water. We got to see the city from the water side, and it was actually incredible to see. Once we got to the spot that we were anchoring off at, I tell you what, things got a little crazy. And you know who the person that is the instigator or the one that's kind of wild? Let me tell you, this man was Daniel, and Daniel is the wild one of the bunch. He is a nut job and a half, but he's an incredible human being. I don't know if I've laughed that much before because I was so sore the next day. So there's no footage of this next part that I'm talking about because it was actually super dangerous, and we're surprised that we're alive. Again, Carlos is not the best planner in the world. Told in the middle of the night, not knowing what's going on, that we were getting off the yacht. We were told that there's a 12-foot long little dinghy that we're supposed to get on to go to our next hotel. We had no idea what that meant. So in the middle of the night, I kid you not, there's no footage of this because of how chaotic it was. We're having a good time on this boat. The next thing I hear is get off the boat, go, go, go. Not in that way, just a little, like 1% of how that went. So imagine this. An American on a boat in the middle of the night on a sea he doesn't know with his wife are told that they're supposed to get on a boat with people they don't know to get driven to somewhere they don't know of. And the only person that can speak a little bit of Spanish is myself. I mean, I'm talking like maybe 15% of Spanish if I'm lucky on a good day. So We didn't have any reception to call Carlos or the rest of the crew to make sure that we were gonna be okay. We looked at him and said, hey, we are gonna see you tomorrow, okay? This was like black market galore. That's how I felt. That's how we all felt collectively as a group. So we get to the dock. We really have no clue what's going on. We can't see anything. It's pitch black. It's literally a small dock with one light on it. I tell the captain of the boat that we're good to go in Spanish and say, it's fine, we'll figure it out. He leaves. Thank God they didn't kill us. That would have been horrible. But we finally start seeing some policeman come down with a light shining down this path. We could see in the distance there's some lights from maybe a hotel or some city. We couldn't tell what it was at the moment. But this man comes down, greets us at the dock itself, and come to find out, our passports and Megwin's work bag is still on the yacht, sitting in the sea. It was the scariest thing I think we've ever done before. This is not smart at all. Carlos, I blame you because obviously it was completely your fault. I'm sorry, but that's how that went. There is a fear that I've never had to experience before besides that. You know, we had to take care of our wives, and we had to make sure that we weren't gonna die on this island that we had no clue where we were at. But come to find out, Carlos booked us a resort for one night that is on this private island that is by itself with no one around, and it was a beautiful location. It was incredible. The next morning, not the night before, because we were still freaked out from whatever happened. Carlos, love you, buddy. Love you, Daniel. Love you, Antonio, but you all suck. In the next episode, guys, I talk about how we got to enjoy this island and everything was actually okay. We're fine, we're physically fine, we're mentally not fine, but that's okay, that's how this is gonna go. Carlos and their crew were taking care of us so well, and they would never let anything happen to us nonetheless. We were still freaked out by everything that ended up happening, but if you guys wanna check out part 3 of this series of our Colombian adventure, I'll leave the link up here. Again, I'll leave all the show notes and the description of what all these hotels and restaurants and locations that we went to, so you guys can put it on your next Colombian itinerary. Guys, if you want to dive right into the next episodes, be my guest, have some fun, enjoy the content like I enjoy it, and I hope you guys come back for more in the future.